What's up, my Metaverse family? Welcome back to another video. Today is going to be a really cool interview with StJohn Colon of Blood Rune. He is building a very cool RPG, like classic tabletop style game on Phantasma chain. And yeah, we're just going to learn about what this project is, a little bit of what StJohn's background is, and why he is excited to build this game. So just to start off, StJohn, first of all, thanks for joining. And then second, what's like the just elevator pitch? How would you explain Blood Rune to someone that might not have any idea what you're working on here?
That's a great question. Thanks, Jake. So it is, first of all, thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here and to share Blood Rune with the world. Blood Rune is the game that I wish I had in all the times where I was playing RPG and my friends were like, "Oh, hey, we got this cool new game. Check it out. Here are the rule books. Memorize them, and then we can play." And it's like, what? I want to just dive in. I want a game that is easy to learn, that has layers of complexity, and goes on and on. So Blood Rune is a traditional tabletop RPG that's condensed into a tableau of playing cards.
Okay.
And they're all on the blockchain, so they're all secured and backed and tradable and collectible. So that's Blood Rune in a nutshell.
All right, so help me explain. So a classic tabletop RPG, we're talking like Dungeons and Dragons style game. How is it work like with the digital interface? Like, is there any type of way, like, is this going to be online or is it in person? How are you imagining people will play Blood Rune?
So when Blood Rune ships, we're going to be leading with the card game because first and foremost, we're an RPG and the physical game is the game. And that's going to be beer and pretzels and with your friends, chilling either at your lunch hour or on an all weekend bender. So it is the traditional like get together and have adventures with your bros. But if you want, when we ship the digital app in the I think we're aiming for Q4 of 2022.
Okay.
Then you're going to be able to have an online experience. You're going to be able to connect with your friends through the network, or you'll be able to play player versus player in a tournament style, in a sort of a battle royale style of tournament play.
Okay.
So there's actually several ways that you can play the game.
Awesome. All right, cool. That helps me get a better understanding just of what Blood Rune is. First off, and I was reading a lot of the cards, and it looks like it's going to be a very interesting and complex game. But before we dive more into it, let's take a step back, StJohn, and talk about your background. How did you get around or finally get to this place where you're like, it's time to build Blood Rune on the Phantasma chain?
So the Blood Rune story, first my background. I come from console games, and I made a ton of console games in my day with Square Enix and with THQ in collaboration with Disney Pixar and Warner Brothers. So I made a lot of games in my career. SpongeBob SquarePants, Scooby-Doo, Parasite Eve, and that was great. That kind of gave me the foundation of building games, and which dovetails in beautifully with my love of games and my other awesome nerd hobbies like sword fighting. So this was definitely something that has always been near and dear to my heart. And I knew that I knew that I was going to make the game, but it wasn't until I met my partner Joseph that I was explaining this amazing card game I was making, and he's like, "Dude, you should build this on the chain." And he talked to me all about the Phantasma chain, and we went specifically for the Phantasma chain because it was the one blockchain that had really easily really great smart contracts that allowed us to embed all the content that we want and to easily spin up tokens whenever we want, and it was ecologically responsible. So it was just sort of like planets aligned.
Yeah, and it's fast and cheap, and yeah.
This was the moment.
Cool. So, what made you want to go from making these traditional games to going back to your roots, I guess, and like making a tabletop RPG? What finally made you say, it's time to take a step back? I mean, I guess you are creating a digital version of this as well, so it's not really that big of a jump away.
It's a great question. The truth is, I've never left my roots.
Okay.
I've been in an ongoing game group since, that's been meeting every Sunday since 1992.
Okay, that's pretty awesome.
Played every single version of every single RPG you've ever heard of, all the different versions of D&D, starting with first edition, second edition, third, all the way up to fifth edition. We've played every edition. Our game group has also been really active in the RPG community. We were the official playtesters for Ars Magica version 4. We go to all the conferences, and it was about time. It's like, you know what? It's time to give back. We have a wealth of experience and knowledge and ideas that we just wanted to share with all of our fans. So there was also a game that I wanted to make that didn't exist, and that was a game of love, conquest, and exploration on alternate Earth that the players get to direct with their actions. And so that was a game I've always wanted to make.
Okay, let's dive a little bit deeper into that. Yeah, what does Blood Rune have that previous tabletop RPGs haven't had? What makes Blood Rune stand out in your mind? Like dive deeper into what you were just saying.
So the Blood Rune, every single aspect in the world is born with a Blood Rune, and an aspect are those of us, you know who you are, who feel like they are just out of time. You live in two different worlds simultaneously. Maybe you feel like you've had a previous life. Maybe you have premonitions of things that are to come. Chances are you're an aspect. An aspect is someone who is touched by the enigma, which is the core energy of the universe, and it's time itself. An aspect is an individual who is everted. Your heart is on the wrong side. You're a complete mirror, and you're an anomaly. You shouldn't exist. And being an aspect gives you special powers. Now, these are the heroes of Blood Rune. And as aspects, there's many famous aspects throughout history, and typically hunted as freaks of nature. Witches, people who see visions, prophets. These were all aspects. And we wanted to make a game about that. So the cool thing about Blood Rune that most RPGs don't have is that it's a legacy game that doesn't revolve around a single adventure, but rather it is a game that plays out over generations. And your Blood Rune is your connection to the enigma that you pass down through your bloodline. And it's that bloodline of heroes that encompasses the game of Blood Rune.
Okay. I'm sorry, I'm looking over at my email here because I want to show one of these cards that you sent to me because you made a very cool on-chain gaming card, and I think it would be cool to look at, and you could kind of explain the cards a little bit more in depth while we look at one, and give us kind of an idea how that works a little bit. So yeah, I have a card pulled up here. People can look at a card while you kind of explain what your design was behind the cards.
All right. So the card that I sent to you is a special edition of the Outlaw.
Okay.
And let's have a look. I've got a copy right here. All right. So you'll find that on this card there are several things. The outlaw is that individual in society that that doesn't quite fit in, and they desire for society to be a more just society that is by and of and for the people. And there are tyrants in this world, and outlaws lash out against those tyrants because the rules were meant to be broken. And the goal of the outlaw is to seek vengeance and destroy that which plagues the world. But beware, for you also have a curse, and that is to succumb to the dark side and be lured into to breaking those rules for your own benefit. Beware. Now, on that card, you will also see that you've got your attributes that are listed. They are your mind, your spirit, your heart, and your body. These are the 4 core attributes in Blood Rune, and they are the things that allow you to do the amazing things that you do.
So that's the blue, yellow, red, and green?
Correct.
Okay.
If you are a warrior, then you're going to lean heavily on the body, which is the green. If you are passionate and swift and determined in your actions, then you'll be leaning on heart. That's the one that's favored by rogues. If you are a healer or you have deep empathy with your fellow humans, then you're going to be leaning on spirit. That's the amber. And then finally, if you're a scholar of the world and are deeply attuned to the mysteries of the universe, then you'll be leaning heavily on mind, which is the blue.
Nice. Yeah, that honestly, I want to jump in and play and see how it's gonna go. So you guys are having your first sale coming up soon. It's a card sale or a token sale? And it's
both.
Oh, it's both. Okay.
It's both.
So explain exactly what's dropping and why people should care.
So we are doing a pre-sale of our NFTs. And the reason why we're calling it a pre-sale is because these NFTs have been minted and they are going to be connected to the actual game, but you can get them now. And effectively by leaping in on this pre-sale, you're helping us, the developers, to buy all the tools that we need. It'll help pay for all of our software, for our printing costs, and effectively it's Kickstarter without Kickstarter. But we're doing it in the NFT community. So this card, the thing that is really important to remember about Blood Rune and what makes Blood Rune special is that the NFT and the card are inseparable. The card has a hashtag that's a unique identifier that is connected to the NFT. And so if a card is discovered and scanned, then that card is now heads up into the cloud, and then an NFT is spun up, and now you have that registered in a digital library as well as having the physical card. If that card gets lost, then if somebody scans it, then you'll get a little alert that says, hey, someone found your card. And then you can reach out to them and get the card back. If you're at a tournament and these cards are valuable and you don't want to play with your cards, you can go to the tournament with a bunch of proxies that you printed at home, or maybe you have duplicates and you want to use the duplicates instead of your number one. You can go to the tournament and say, hey, I want to play with my cards. They'll look at your app and they can say, oh, these are your cards. Go ahead. Or if some scumbag shows up with a card that he scanned off of your YouTube feed and said, oh yeah, these are totally my cards. You show up at a tournament and says like, yeah, no, these are Jake's cards because they're registered to Jake. So so what you're buying in this sale is a token which is connected to the physical card, and that physical card can be printed after the fact, and they will be shipped to you when the game ships next June. So that is you're literally buying into the product now, and you're helping us launch our company.
Okay, so that's really cool, and I totally get that. I think that there's going to be more and more things in the physical world that start getting attached to NFTs in the digital world. And then especially because you guys are then going to be adding on this digital addition to the game in time, like having those NFTs as well, I'm sure will then give you access to those cards in the digital edition of the game. Is that correct?
Exactly. Your physical collection and your digital collection are identical.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay, so that's awesome. And then also, guys, like supporting these developers who want to develop NFT games where we have real ownership for the first time, I think is a very valuable and important thing. But I'm curious now, since you said it's an NFT sale and a token sale, explain the Blood Rune token a little bit. How does it work in the ecosystem, and what does it represent?
Well, the Blood Rune token is something that we're going to be developing in the near future. It's effectively going to be our in-game currency, and we're not selling our Blood Rune token yet. For this sale, we're selling just the NFTs of the actual physical cards, and we'll be rolling out news with regards to how the Blood Rune token works as we develop the game further down the line.
Okay.
I do want to, however, mention that you mentioned something that was really key, and that is, for years, gamers have been really lamenting the loss of ownership. I've got a Steam account. I've got a whole bunch of video games. I don't own any of them. I'm renting them from the platform.
Yeah.
And I want everyone to know that we have taken great pains to make sure that all of our content is on a decentralized server, so that if the servers ever go down, the images still exist. If it's 1,000 years from now, and who knows where we are on the planet, but the images, all the NFTs, all of those will still exist because we're decentralizing everything. Nothing. We will run the game on a centralized server for purposes of continuity, but the actual assets that the players own will be secure.
So what is the decentralized server that you guys are hosting the game on? I'm actually kind of curious because I know that Phantasma has like a decentralized image hosting thing that they're working on, but I'm not sure like how far along, or like if that, like, are you guys using Phantasma's decentralized image hosting, or are you using a different decentralized server?
I'm going to punt.
Okay.
So that I have an opportunity for my real expert to answer that question.
Okay.
That would be my partner Joseph. So, but I will say that Phantasma has been an amazing partner in supporting us and helping us figure out this technology. And I'll leave it at that.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair enough. I'm just curious because, you know, I've been doing research on all of these chains and stuff and trying to figure out, like, I don't think there's going to be one winner. I think that there's going to be a lot of smart chains that have a lot of great development done on them. So people are just going to be using a lot of different chains because there's good games built on all of these different platforms. And I think there's already some projects that are hoping to like tie all the chains together, and even Phantasma has interoperability between Ethereum and Neo and Binance, and like you can literally just transfer between in the Phantasma wallet between all the chains. So it makes it really easy for users to get their resources onto Phantasma, and they're doing a lot of great stuff there. But yeah, as an investor, because that's one of the things I do besides making content, I'm just trying to wrap my head around this whole space and everything that's getting developed, and like who actually has what functionality. Because a lot of chains say that like, oh, you can do this and we're building that and we're building that. But it's like in reality, a lot of these chains don't actually have that much that's operable now.
Oh, absolutely. And we're all on the bleeding edge. We're all on the frontier in discovering this. And right now, interoperability is huge, making sure that you have you can do exchanges between chains. And one of the things that's simultaneously exciting but also frustrating is that we're really kind of pushing the boundaries of what the chain can do. And a lot of times we'll create a feature, and then we'll test it, and then we'll write our participants saying, hey, this isn't working as we expected.
Yeah.
And they say like, yeah, you're right. This isn't working right. And so then we'll collaborate, and they'll solve the bug. So it's really kind of a wonderful partnership where we're discovering utility as we go. And I think that we're in an incredibly exciting time where this is literally the birth of NFT gaming, where we're discovering all the potential that this genre has to offer.
Yeah, we definitely are. And I think what you guys are building is pretty exciting. So I'm just curious, is the team right now just you and your partner, or is there anyone else working on this project as well currently?
Great question. So we have 6 full-time partners.
Okay.
And I would say about another 4 part-time partners.
Okay.
And the work that everybody's doing is immeasurable. We couldn't do the game itself would not exist without all of their help. You know who you are. And these are all industry veterans that have core expertise in numerous areas, in production, design, in engineering, in localization, etc. So it's the goal, of course, is that the company will really explode this space. But right now we're still definitely an early stage dev.
Well, that's really awesome, and I'm rooting for your team and what Blood Rune is building. Let's tell people where they can follow Blood Rune to stay up to date with the project and participate in this first NFT drop. So on Twitter, is it just @Blood Rune? Or
wow, let's find out. I'm actually going to cheat. I'm going to go to, first of all, I'm going to go to our website, which is bloodrune.com. And then I'm going to check out all the hashtags.
All right. It looks like Twitter is Blood Rune TCG.
Correct.
Yeah. And then bloodrune.com has the countdown for the NFT sale.
So what I'll do is I'll go ahead and spin them out. Folks, you can join us at bloodrune.com. Follow us on Twitter at bloodrunetcg. Follow us on Telegram at t.me/bloodrune. You can follow us on Facebook if you right there at Blood Rune, or you can follow us on Instagram at bloodrunetcg.
Awesome. And and if you guys enjoyed this interview and want to watch more interviews about the future of gaming as really play to earn and real player ownership revolutionizes what gaming is and kind of creates the metaverse, I feel like for the first time. If you want to stay up to date, make sure you guys are hitting subscribe and clicking that notification bell. And if you enjoyed this interview, drop a big thumbs up, because that will help out the video in the algorithm, and it'll get this interview recommended to more people that might be interested in it. So we really appreciate you guys leaving the thumbs up on the way out. And until next time, everyone, have fun roaming the metaverse.